Okay, welcome guys. So this is the team training call for the 8th of July. My name's Lauren. For those that don't know me, I've been part of the Juice Plus business now for 2 years. You probably just feel like deja vu because you heard me say that on the other call. I'm doing the training tonight while Adam and Kira take some time with their family. And we're also going to have power couple guest speakers on tonight, the amazing James and Linda, who now do this as the dynamic duo because James just recently, last Thursday, retired from his full-time job in real estate, which is pretty amazing. So you're going to hear from those guys tonight also. But I'm excited to just share really quickly. I'm just going to take up 10 to 15 minutes of time to help you guys with the system that works. So really, whether you're brand new, whether you've been in this business a day, 1 week, 1 month, 2 years, whatever, I think really just getting clear on what system works. And, I think so many people come into this business and definitely try and reinvent the wheel. And don't get me wrong, you can definitely do that. Like I could go do that now. But honestly, our system works and it's there for a reason because it's easy and duplicatable. Because, no matter who you are, whether you come into this with a degree or a health background or whatever, the more and more successful people that I see do this business are actually just everyday people. So, when I talk about the product, I've done my diploma in nutrition and I was in the health industry. But if I brought all the knowledge that I had on nutrition, it's not duplicatable because people look at that and they're like, oh, I can't replicate that. I can't do this business. But when we keep it really simple, honestly, like that's where the magic is because it's never what we can do. If you just heard from Lauren Farrow, really, amazing share. You don't think about, of like getting team members and doing that. You think about, who could I help start their business or who could I help get more of what they want out of life? And when you think about it like that and you think about, hey, who could I just go and help? Who can I serve? That's when we have the most success because we get ourselves out of the way, okay, and we're rewarded anyway for that, okay? We're rewarded for 2.5 things in this business. Number 1 is sharing the product and gaining new customers, so helping people on a health journey. Number 2 is finding new people to help within the business and help start their business. The half is teaching because no matter how much energy and how much I pour into people, okay, whether what they do and don't do is completely up to them. I can help coach, mentor them, but, if they're not willing to go and do the do and follow the systems that work and, plug into the events and do that, guess what? No amount of inspiration is going to get them into action, which action, okay, is what builds the business. So I always say plugging into trainings is awesome. Guess what? Doesn't pay you. Okay, it might pay you in the long run because of the things that you learn, but unless you use them, it's not. Because knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is. So do me a favor and don't be a statistic. Okay, don't be a statistic. Go out and use what you learn through these trainings and implement them. Okay, and go to work on your demo and go to work on your business because I promise you, my business is at a point where it just blows my mind every single day. 2 years ago, I had no idea I could create what I've created so far. Okay, and I know this is, just the beginning and just getting started. And I look at all my team members and rock stars and diamonds and, that are coming up the ranks and I'm like, holy crap, you have no idea what's in store for you just yet. Okay, because it's crazy. So I want to help you guys with the system. So, how to get someone and what to implement and what to utilize. So we have so much going on in the team page and it's crazy. Okay, but really getting back to basics and, the consistent high 5. Okay, the consistent 5 high-paying activities. Every single day, rate yourself on, are you talking to people and reaching out? Okay, rate yourself on your consistency with that. Rate yourself on your consistency with your Facebook posts and utilizing that. Now, I'm not saying, okay, I've done lots of trainings on social media, and I'm not saying that it has to be your number one strategy like it is for me. Okay, but I love it, and I just love being able to connect with people through that and share my journey and my life through that. So rate yourself on consistency with your daily Facebook posts. Now, it's not about doing a Facebook post and getting a team member or a customer off it. Okay, it's about that consistent showing your story and showing your vision and showing your passions through that. Okay, because people live vicariously through other people through that. So it's really cool to show people who you are, doing videos, doing posts and being inspirational. Because, look at yourself in the mirror and be like, would I follow me? The answer is no. Then ask yourself, who do I need to become to really, have that higher rating of myself in following myself in this journey. Because the only difference between me and someone else, or, you and the next person, is what we bring to this business and what we bring to this to the table within this culture and within this community. Okay, and that's what people want. People will follow people. Okay, so be a real life person. So rate yourself on Facebook posts. Okay, and then the third high paying activity is, if you're doing Facebook posts and you're reaching out, are you following up? Rate yourself on follow-ups. Okay, and I mean rate yourself on 1 to 10. Now, 10 for me might be 100, 10 for you might be 2. So within your realm, rate yourself on that. Events are the lifeblood of our business. Are you stepping up and are you sharing, if you've been in the business a while, are you sharing on events? Okay, because I always say, and Linda said it to me, the person with the pen makes the money. So I'm not saying, a week in you have to hold the pen, but if you've been in this business and you're, an SC and an SSC, are you coming together with your team and doing events, and are you sharing on the greater events, and are you sharing your story? Because that really is that first, step in the event. And then are you learning it? Because what's duplicatable is the event. It shows people what we're about, and it gets people a little more curious. So the fourth is events. Are you plugging into trainings? Are you plugging into events? Are you inviting? You're paid to talk to people. You're paid to share what we have. So you're inviting to events. And then the fifth is customer care and team care. Once you grow a team, are you checking in? Are you helping them map out goals? Are you helping them with conversations? Okay. Are you really just helping them plug in to the system? And so and then customer care, are you taking good care of your customers? Because I promise you, it is easier to keep a customer than it is to find a new one. Okay. And it really, when you nurture a relationship, okay, and you nurture a customer, customers won't cancel out of a relationship. They will cancel out of, an order. Okay. So it's really important to treat them in a way, okay, and, treat them like gold, because they are. Customers are the lifeblood of our business, because when you build a team, hopefully it's going to get better. My internet says 5 bars, so hopefully it's okay. Just dodgy internet all around. They are the lifeblood of our business. So it's really, really important that you can build a team, but unless you have customers coming in, there is no business there. So really important to treat your customers and give good customer care. Now, I'm not talking about spending, hours and hours and hours. Okay, good customer care is checking in, giving them smoothie recipes, not just plugging them into the JBT and they never hear from you again. So really important to give good customer care. Do nice things for them. Send them a birthday card, send them, a little postcard with a free sample of Complete, whatever it is. Give them your favorite smoothie recipes, things like that. So really make them feel important and heard and cared for throughout their Juice Plus journey. So they're the 5 high paying activities. So, really plugging into that, and it's your consistent effort, not what you do today. Okay. Not like, hey, I gave this business a good run for a week, a month, even 6 months. That's seriously what were you ever, epic at, within a week or 2 weeks or 2 months? This business is not what we do today. It is about, it is about time. Okay. And giving it the time it deserves. Really, if you could make a 6-figure income in the next 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, is that better than going out and working for the rest of your life, in a job that you might not love, commuting every day? So think about that. So rate yourself on those 5 high-paying activities, okay, because that's really the lifeblood and the basis of our business and building depth in relationships. Okay, so really how to take someone from a prospect okay, someone interested in the product or the business, and how to get someone, you know, excited to join the product, join the program, join the business. It's a system, and we have it mapped out for you. Okay, we have it there. So in the pin post at the very top of Team Freestyle, if you hit pin post and then you hit continue reading or whatever it is, it's really long. Okay, so we had to try it, like it condenses itself. So really look at that, and in the top it says the system that works. Step by step, there's 2 videos of Adam and I. In the very beginning, we really need to update it. But in the beginning of how to take someone from interested and the cool questions to ask to help them from interested in the product to on a phone call, and linking in with 3 ways. In the beginning, are you meant to know how to talk about it? Are you meant to know, you know, like how to do that? No. So reach up to your upline or, you know, whoever's above you in the pin post in Team Freestyle. So go up to someone above you that's obviously probably got a little bit more experience and get them to help. And that video shows you some cool questions to ask, because people do not buy what they need, they buy what they want. So giving them purpose around that, okay, instead of, you know, they're interested, cool, here's the stuff, here's the info, you know, come back to me when you want to order. Like, that's not building depth in relationships. So you've got to ask them cool questions as to what they want, and you genuinely listen and build the depth in relationship. And the same with the business. You know, the step-by-step process is, okay, they're curious about what you're doing, or you've invited them to an event, you know, take an interest. Hey, hon, you know, what got you interested in what I'm up to? Awesome. If you have a look in Team Freestyle in the files section, we have a script book, okay? You know, Kira and I really, like, we used to, like, just send people these messages and we're like, this is gold. Kira, you should make a script book. And, like, for us, it really came down to is, you know, from interested to seeing an event to taking it offline. Okay, because a lot of people obviously come to you through, you know, your posts or through something you're doing or through group pages or whatnot. So to take them from interested, okay, then ask them, you know, what got your interest, and you'll learn stuff about them, and you'll be able to share part of your story and why you love this business. Again, share the features, share the benefits, not the features. Share why you love it, because when you understand that your story is everything, okay, and no one can take it away from you, then it's really important that that's what we share. We share why we love it. We share why we were inspired to start. We share our vision, but a snippet. You know, you don't tell them your life story, you share a snippet, okay? And then you go from, okay, you know, that call to action. So they're interested, you've learned a little bit about them. Then it's like, hey, babe, best way to see. And so you never have to get into a convincing game, okay? You never have to be like, this is like a Juice Plus franchise and we sell an awesome product, because people label it. Then the fears start coming out of, oh, I couldn't sell something, or I'm not in the health industry, or I'm not healthy, or blah, 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 blah. So, you know, tell them as little as possible. Share your story, share your why, share your vision, share your heart. And then you take them from that. Be like, hey, babe, best way to see what we do is to see an event, you know, and then we go back to the high-paying activity, inviting through events. You know, would an online live event work best, or a recording? Oh, yeah, the recording would be amazing. You know, I can watch it when I put the kids to bed. Awesome. If I send it through, will you watch it? If I, will you? Best tool I ever learned in this business. Okay, get permission from people. It's not about just like willy-nilly going and sending links. It's about getting permission and getting that stake in the ground first, and then being like, hey, here's option A or B. If I, will you? If I sent you a link, would you take the time to watch it? If they say yes, guess what? Following up just becomes the next step of being a professional and building a business, because you're doing them a disservice if you're not following them up. So, you know, if they say yes, awesome. If they say yes to a live online event, awesome. You know, would Wednesday or Sunday work best? Whatever times your teams do events. And then if it's a recording, awesome, babe, I'll send it through, sending them that link. So then I give them 24 to 48 hours. Guess what? They told me they're going to watch it. I don't even go and ask if they've watched it. I just be like, hey, hon, you know, just messaging to connect again. What did you love? I would love to know what you loved most about what I sent you. And are there any questions that come up for you? If they're like, oh, sorry, babe, I haven't watched it, no worries. Yeah, I get it. Life gets in the way. I'll touch base in the next day or so. with you. Is that okay? Yep, awesome, cool. Yeah. And then we keep that process going, because by asking them what they loved most, guess what? They have to choose something positive. If you ask them, and it's just that little change in verbiage, if you ask them, hey babe, just wanted to see what you thought, guess what? First thing that comes out of their mouth is sometimes going to be negative. And honestly, even if they have a little bit of fear, if you ask them what they liked most, they're going to tell you something positive, and then they might be like, but, I don't know if I can do it. But then you have something to work with, by asking them, hey, what did you think? And you've just got negative after negative, then it's like, oh crap, where do I go from here? Okay, so it's really asking that positive first. And then, if it's a no, cool. I actually don't leave it at that. I just get curious. Yeah, no worries, hon. I totally get it. It's not for everyone. Just curious, why do you feel like, why do you feel like it's not for you, or whatever their verbiage was? And they'll be like, oh, I'm just not into sales. And then you have somewhere to kind of just keep talking and have that fear, and that's okay. Fear is just, I guess, their way of, just wanting a little bit more certainty around something. And so then you can not go into convincing, but like, hey, babe, I know how you feel. I felt the same way. What I found is, we actually don't sell stuff. It really is about recommending, and we have a timeless product, right? It works and people are just drawn to it. But hey, totally get this isn't for you. I was just really curious. And, building that depth, and they might come back and be like, I totally, maybe I should have a closer look. And then in that moment when they're excited and they're like, yeah, I loved this, this, and this. Awesome, babe. Those people that are like, yeah, I've watched it. It's amazing. I loved this. And it's like, awesome. I'd love to get you, on a call and see what this could be for you. You've got to make it about them. Okay. You have to make it about them in showing them, hey, I am here for you. I'm here to serve you. And I'm here to see, oh, Vicky, you're sharing your screen. I don't know how to stop that. There'll be like a little button saying like stop share screen. Yep, there you go. Awesome. I should put the lock on. Lock screen sharing. There we go. So you got to make it about them. Be a servant leader. That's okay. Be a servant leader and be able to say, how can I serve you? And how can I help? Like, what can I want to see what this is for you. Okay. So really just that step-by-step process is someone's curious. Awesome. Okay. If it's a customer, then either messenger or phone and get them curious, but go and watch those links. And the links at the top of Team Freestyle in the pin post under the heading, the system that works, takes it step by step, is like how to show people an event, and then how to have that post-event follow-up chat, which is how to take someone from curious to seeing an event. They're excited to know more, so you take it offline and you make it about them and what could this be, and those 4 questions, those 4 important questions that we ask people, okay, to understand their vision for this. And then from there, we then take it to, okay, they're awesome, they're excited to get started. Then we take them into Start Strong. And if you just wash, rinse, and repeat that system, I promise you, that is the key to success. It is not about going around and convincing people. It is not about going and shoving this down people's throat. It is about it being inspiring, being consistent, and showing people what we have and following that system. And I promise you, it is easier to start 4 people into that system than it is to start 1 a month. So really just that gets people out of, and guess what? The chips will, and this isn't me being horrible and talking about people as chips, okay, but the chips will fall where they may. So some people will, some people won't, okay? The 80-15-5 rule, okay? 80% of people will do 5% of the work. 80% of people might just come, okay, into this.
Now, you know what? I'm here to serve you guys. So what? Just give me some of the top topics in the chat of what you would love me to cover right now. I've got 37 minutes with you.
Oh my God, listen to this lady.
I can jam in a lot. So I want, how do we motivate our teamies? Getting a new team. Okay. Let's stick with that. So if everyone can mute yourself, because we still got I can't host this right now until Lauren comes back in. If everyone can check their mute as best as we can till Lauren comes.
I'm here. Sorry, I'm back.
Okay. I'm sure you're getting there. Okay.
You go.
Okay. I've done me. Can you pin it, please, Lauren?
Yeah.
Thanks, son. Okay, so team. I have potentials, but they're all procrastinators, the master asker and the listener. Starting team strong. GSD now, not at the end of the month. I love that. But no matter how much I train people to do that, it never really works. People are always going to do that big hustle at the end of the month. So I stopped trying to get people to do that. Let's start with, how do you motivate your team? You don't. Sorry, you don't. People are either going to want to do this business or they're not. You're not there to babysit them. You're not there to build an orphanage. Your only job is to be the example. And those that want to do this business because they know why they're here, they've got a strong why, they're going to watch you and they're going to follow what you do. They're going to look at you, and if you're doing what's easy and duplicatable and you're making it fun and you are inspired, you are in spirit, you are tapped in and turned on, other people look at you and say, I want some of that. I don't even know what this is, but I want to do that. So being the example and being duplicatable, honestly, guys, that's your only job. You're not there to be, look, you can be a cheerleader. I definitely have that as part of my identity. You see me on cheering on Facebook all the time. I'm giving real messages, heartfelt messages. But honestly, I took years to really get that my job was not to motivate people. Motivation wears off. Yeah? So all we can do is be the example, be inspired ourselves, lead from the front, and those that want this business, leadership will always rise to the top. It's like the cream. Leadership will always present itself, and leadership will always rise to the top. So this is what I want to share with you on this. When you're brand new, it's hard to know who and where and how to spend your time. So getting started strong is very, very important. Getting started strong to me is focusing on just 2 or 3 things. When we make it too complicated, when there's too many trainings and too many books and too many links and too many Facebook groups and too many messenger groups, what do people do? Right? They just go into overwhelm. No one wants another job, right? Everyone's got a job. They're here in Juice Plus. Why? If you know their why, that, my friends, is the biggest key. That's the biggest gift that you can give them and have for you. You're their dream keeper. Okay? So the number one thing that I do is say to someone, what could this be for you? Tell me what have you seen that could really be something for you? Tell me about you. And then that's going to give me their why. If we don't have this, we have nothing. They will be a statistic fast. They won't stay. They won't understand what the key activities are, and they'll be in overwhelm and they'll say very quickly, I can't do this, or it doesn't work, or I don't work, or I joined the wrong team, or, blah, 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 all of those excuses. So getting their why are you here? I honestly believe no matter what people say, and this is part of you being a dream keeper for other people and making it not about yourself, I really believe that everyone has a burning desire. It could be a teeny tiny little flame, or it could be roaring big, a huge why right from the start. Everyone has a hope, a dream that this could be something for them. Have a think about it. Would you agree? They may say, I want my products cheaper. They may say, I'm going to dabble, but it's really just fear, okay? It's really just, I just will play it cool in case it doesn't work out, or in case I still care what other people think, or whatever's going on. But honestly, I just see past that. I'm like, get that out of the way. Why are you really here? That's what I want. That's what I'm just going to hook into. That's why I call it the stake in the ground. Because think of it like maybe like a dog on a lead, right? When you've got that stake in the ground, people will go all over the place. They'll go in and out and up and down, and there'll be good days and bad days. But this is what I keep talking about. Is this still important? Is this why you're still here? Is that 500 extra a month? So you can start planning the cruise, or your son's private school fees, or so you can bring back date night and manicures, or so I know what this is. I remember it. I write it in my, getting started with that team member, and I keep coming back to that. So when they've qualified in month number 1, we delivered the success check. We knew that they got to SDVF, the fast track. We got them qualified. Then guess what? It's kind of the danger period. Okay, after qualifying the first time, how do you keep people qualified? You can't. It's their decision. So the only thing that I say to motivate people is to say, remember I said I was your dream keeper? And remember when we talked about this? Tell me, hun, I know life is in the way. I know it's busy, but tell me, is this still important? Is that $1,000 a month still important and a priority for you right now? Yes, but blah, 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 and you'll hear all of the reasons why not. Well, remember, I'm your dream keeper, and this business is not about lots of time. It's not about lots of effort. It's just the stolen moments and consistency over time. And I'm here to help you keep this stake in the ground and not give up on a bad day. How would you love me to do that? Cheer you on, bring you back. You know what? You're only 4 more orders off qualifying this next month. Let's not leave that extra $100 on the table, because I committed with you your dream. So all we need to do is find 3 more orders in the next 4 weeks. How did we find your first 3 orders? What did we do? We hosted an event. We did a post. We did some 3-way calls. Then we did another product post. Then we did this. So I just tell them what they already did. They've already been successful. Okay, we just go back to, how did you find this? How did you find your first team? Awesome. Can we do that again? Could we do that in 2 hours a week? Would you be willing to recommit for 2 hours a week, 15 minutes a day? So remember, this business is about consistency over time, not huge chunks of time. You do Juice Plus as you do life, but you be intentional. Okay, so as a sponsor, you want to be intentional for your team and with your team. Does that make sense? I'm never having big, long chats. I used to, but now, because I value my time so much, everyone else does. You get what you tolerate. You teach people how to treat you. So when I was desperate to find team, I used to do everything for them. And I built a huge, big orphanage, and I was exhausted. And it didn't duplicate, and it didn't last, and it certainly didn't work without me. So if some of you are feeling like you're in that stage, stop it. Have a look at, is this duplicatable? Is this a high-paying activity? They're my 2 favorite questions. That's the first thing about being a master asker. I saw someone say that. Be a master asker. And ask those questions to yourself. Is this duplicatable? Is this making me money right now? So what I'm going to do with that information is, if I'm going out for coffee and I'm there for an hour, by the time I order a coffee, and then I sit down and I have a chat with this person, and then I'm not quite sure how to get them to commit by the end of the coffee, I've actually spent 3 hours to get 1 order. Okay? That's not duplicatable. There's not many people who are full-time mums or dads or full-time people that see that, and then they go, I can't do that. I can't spend hours every week going out for coffee and hoping that I'll get 1 order this way. So always think about what your high-paying activities are and how can you compress time even more. How can you make this simple, easy, and duplicatable? So instead of going out for the long coffee, you can have a messenger conversation. You can pick up the phone with them. You could do a 3-way Zoom. You can group your potentials together. Something I've been doing with some newer frontline is someone's asked me to do a bunch of 3-way calls because this person's super excited. engaged, they've got 3, 4, 5 people ready to line up. So I'm saying to respect my time, get all 5 of them on a call at this time. And it's really powerful and really exciting because we all get to ask the questions together and learn together. So it actually works really well. So I'm always thinking about, how can I record this? How can I compress time? How can I teach this to more people? Does that make sense? So as you're stepping into leadership and you're plugging into the systems that work, that's really important. Compress your own time. Then you'll be duplicatable. Use the systems, use the recorded events, use the links, use the scripts, right? You guys have amazing systems in place. So I commend you all for being online tonight. There's 250 of you, is just outstanding. That's why this team's insanely on fire, because you know that the system's working and you're all teachable, which is super exciting. Okay, what was the other thing that I had? How to start a random conversation with someone that you don't know on Facebook that you've added and they've accepted, and really ask, how have you been going, because you've never met them. So my first question, I don't do a lot of this. Probably Lauren Berry would be a great one to ask. But what I do is I get curious instead of thinking about what am I going to get out of them. The minute that I feel that coming up in me when I'm showing up to get something, I have to cross that out. I have to get out of that mindset, because people can feel that and it's not a great intention. So first of all, I would say my intention is get to know this person as a person, not as a prospect. You'll never hear me say the word prospect because I think it labels someone. So I collect friends. I'm a relationship friendship person. So if I've decided to add them, I'm going to say, great to connect. Looks like you're up to great things. Looking forward to seeing more and learning about you. Something like that. And then if they're nice, they'll have a banter back. And what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go and have a scroll on my Facebook. Linda, what do you do? Now, I teach people, how to have better health and better wealth. Super passionate about that. So if you know anyone that's, looking to improve these areas, I'd love to hear from them. Oh, wow, tell me more. And then off we go. Yeah, so that would answer that question. Okay. High action and high momentum. Every time they get a no or not now. Okay, so that's a great question. How do we get people who are keen to start in high action and high momentum every time they get a no or a not now? It can be gutting, right? It can feel like death at the start when you get a no, because you take it personally. So I love this question because we can really pre-frame people. This is just a great tool to learn. Pre-frame means set up expectations with someone. So when you're doing the game plan interview, you guys have got a great training on that, the game plan interview that GoPro talks about. You want to set up realistic expectations. That's why I do this. Why are you here? What could this be? So what would a really great dollar figure that puts a smile on your dial, what would that be for your first 8 to 12 weeks in Juice Plus? What would really make you happy? What dollar figure? And I get that dollar figure, and that's what we talk about. That's what we are locking into. And then I'm using the system to work backward from that. So if that's 1,000, if it's 500, if it's, anything would be great. I'm going to then give them what's typical. If they're saying $5,000 in their first 12 weeks, I'll say, you know what? That is totally possible. It's not typical. It's not necessarily the average, but we've got people that are smashing it and absolutely doing that. So what I love about this business is this is your journey and your effort, and your success in this business is 100% your responsibility, or your non-success in this business is 100% your responsibility. So what I love to do in this game plan interview is help you set some realistic expectations, on how a business like this works. It's probably very different to anything you've ever done before. And I'd love to really have you understand what that's going to look like over the next 8 weeks. How does that sound? So I'm setting up the expectations, and I'm saying, okay, with you 2 launch events, for us to find you know, 3 people who would love to join your team, 3 people who want to look good, feel good, make money, have fun. Let's say we aim for 3. I really like 3. It's not overwhelming, but there's nothing to say you can't get 5 or 10. Now, tell me this, because this business is brand new to you. How many people do you think you're going to need to speak to or invite? You know, not have a big long chat, but invite to take a closer look. For us to get 3 that say, yes, you know what, I got nothing to lose, this sounds exciting. How many do you think you might need to invite, you know, to take a closer look? And I wait and I let them process, and then they give me the answer. And if the answer's spot on, it's about 1 person will say, yes, tell me more, in 10. If you're good and you're skillful and you've got great relationships and you're social and all of that, maybe it's 2 people out of 10. So already I'm setting up the expectation that 1 is going to say, yeah, I'm curious, tell me more. What are the other 9? Let's talk about them. What they're not going to say is, no, not ever. I can't stand you. Don't ever call me with that stuff again. I hate you. What you're doing is crap. They're not saying any of that. Okay? Some days it might feel like that, but I'm here to let you know that it's just crazy and not realistic that every single person that you invite to come and take a look is going to say yes. Not everyone is looking for fruit and veggies in a convenient, cheap form right now, extra, and not everyone is looking for a home-based business to work in stolen moments like you are right now. So guys, can you see setting up expectations is very, very important. Getting based in reality. And then, you know, helping them really understand that it's not no, not ever. The very simple example that I give is, how many people do you know who are looking for extra income right now and who are ready to really go out and do something about it? How many people are looking to buy a new car right now? Is it everyone you know? No. So our business is no different. What you're offering is a better way to health and a better way to wealth. Another option. Is everyone with me on that example? I use the new car example because, you know, if I ask 250 of you right now, show of hands, who's looking to buy a new car right now? Look at all these faces. 1, so there's 2 on this page, no one else. Rachel's not. Look at Rachel Moses is definitely not. But Rob and Taylor are. Look, so if I was to ask this question in front of 250 of you, I'm just scrolling through quickly. Oh, here's another one. Lisa is. And Rebecca, your little guy, he's looking to buy a new car. Ray is. Donna. Do you guys get it? There's 250 of you online, and there's probably 1 or 2 on each screen. Now, think of how much better my conversation and my result is when I'm asking a broad question like that. I'm not taking it personally. If all of you others don't want to buy a car, bloody people, not buying my car that I'm going to sell. My God, rude people, right? But that's how absurd we get about this. We make it personal. It's not. People either are looking for something or they're not. We are only looking for people who are looking for something right now, or get back to me soon, or keep me on the drip feed list, or not in a million years. And you leave them be. Leave them where they're at. It doesn't matter what I say to Rachel Moses right now. She's like this, I'm not buying a car. Does it matter how cheap? All the extras that I'm going to put in, shiny rims, half price, her favourite colour. She's just not interested. It doesn't matter if I get her on a 3-way call with me and Adam. We say, you really should buy this car right now. It's going to change your life. Are you guys with me? It doesn't matter. So don't play the convincing game. You don't need to. You don't need to spend 1 minute convincing someone of something. Okay? Say less to more people. So I'm saying less to all of you guys. Who is looking to buy a new car? Who knows someone who's looking to buy a new car? Send them my way. I am so excited about what I'm up to. I'd love you to come and take a closer look. Can I send you a message with what I'm up to? So then out of the 250 of you, I'm going to be in a qualified conversation with about 7 of you. And out of the 7 who really want to buy a car, I'll probably get 3. Does it make sense? Now, fruit and veggies and healthier, it's in more demand than people buying a new car. That's the good news. People wanting a smarter way to make money, you're probably going to have more people put their hand up. But I want you to understand, and I want you guys to teach your team, especially your newbies, that we are only looking for people who are looking for something with 2 hands up. Does that make sense? So I hope that answers your question. So how you get the people who are ready to rock in high action, the high action people, if they're walking their talk and you're watching the lips, watching the feet, not just the lips, they're going to be reaching out to lots and lots of people. They're going to be prepared to speak to 10 people a day. In the supermarket, they're going to read the books, they're going to get up to speed. They're going to release limiting beliefs very quickly because they've got a bigger why. There's no rocket science in this. If you've got a big why, you are going to do what it takes. If I am holding your kids hostage, right, and I say to you, you need to get 10 orders, 10 customers and 3 team by the end of this week, or something really terrible is going to happen, can you do it? You can, because you're like, I don't have to motivate you, right? So only you can motivate yourself. Make it important. Make your why, make the stake in the ground very important. Magnify it. Bring color to it. Bring urgency. Bring energy and enthusiasm and inspiration to it. That's not your sponsor's job to do that for you. Okay? You lead and your team will do what you do, not what you say. Does that make sense? So starting strong, the process, the training and the steps are always the same. How fast people get through it or what they don't do is going to always determine their results. This is always a numbers game. It's always a numbers game. If you guys haven't yet, if you don't yet know it off by heart, Jim Rohn, How to Build Your Network Marketing Business. If you don't yet know it off by heart, especially the numbers section, there's a chapter on it, please learn that. Do yourself a favor, do your team a favor, and especially when they're new, it's going to help them understand. Batting average, the law of averages, how many people you need to speak to. Because I've been doing this 7 years now, I may be a little more skillful on who might join the business, where to find them, the conversations to start, how quickly I can, bring them in excited. I might have a slightly better average than you. But when you're brand new and your ignorance on fire and you don't know much at all, you can still compete. I might get 2 out of 10. You're brand new, you're going to get 1 out of 10. If you're prepared to speak to 3 times as many people as me, you win. You will get the results that you put in. So you all heard me say at conference, don't complain about the results you didn't get for the work that you didn't do. Our business is always speaking to people, inviting. If I would you, take a look at this. What did you think? How did you go with that? Is this still on the radar? Tell me, I know, you were interested a few months ago. Is this still on the radar, hon? We've got this super exciting guest speaker coming up this week and I thought of you. Let me know and I can send you the link. Okay, so I'm always doing that because in all the conversations that I have, people are going into those 4 categories. Yes, tell me more right now. Not right now, but, keep me in mind, Linda. Contact me in a month or 2. Not really, I don't think it's for me, but I know someone else, and then the no, not ever in a million years. And even some of the no, not evers in a million years, 5, 6 years down the track, are calling me. So you never, ever know. Look at a show of hands for a second, guys. Who knows, who's been in the business long enough that you know that this has dramatically helped improve your life and someone else's that you know, that you've directly had an impact into? So, of course, when you scroll through all 10 pages, I mean, there's 90% of the hands, right? There's more than 90%. So this is why this business isn't about you. This is why you don't give up on a bad day, because of all those hands that are up. You know, you'd lead it back to me, to Lauren, to Cheryl, to Jeff. It just goes on and on and on. And that's the true beauty of network marketing. The true beauty is paying it forward. So this is where you can stay excited and confident and reassured that you're a dream keeper. Somebody believed in you. You get to pass on that torch. You get to have that responsibility for someone else. But that's where it ends. You invite them in. You plug them into the system, whether they will or whether they won't. Honestly, I promise you, hear me on this. It's got nothing to do with you. You can't influence that. Who's excited to hear that? Good. There's some enthusiastic yeses. I was very excited to hear that at a very, very powerful training for me that I'd been doing the business for years, and I'd been doing it a lot in desperation. And I felt that I could, if I just loved enough and coached enough and got people, dragged them to conference and dragged them on three-way calls and whatever, that I really could turn people into, you know, raving loons about Juice Plus. But honestly, this was the best training that I've ever heard. You don't get to influence the outcome. Okay? Whether they will, whether they won't, whether they get started, whether they're on fire, you never ever know, and it's got nothing to do with you. You're not that important. Okay? How cool is that? You're not that important. So I want you to take a breath, breathe it in. Mariana likes that. Look, she's been caring out there too much, so that's awesome. Don't care, love them, but you don't have to, you know, Cheryl would say, you don't have to drag around the dead bodies, okay, and hope and pray that you're going to bring someone to life. It's not like that. And honestly, 80% of your business wants to be just left where they are. They want to be left where they are. Say less to more. Recruit more. Look for more people with two hands up. A large proportion of our business and our team, they're here for connection. They're here for community. They don't necessarily want to be an NMD. They don't necessarily want to set the world on fire. They love getting their products cheaper. They love having an impact in other people's health. They love community. And $500 extra a month is mind-blowing. So we don't need to push anything. We're not that important. We just need to worry about our own bottom line, our extreme awesome customer care, and what our business looks like. You don't need to be in management mode. No one's here to be managed. Do you agree? Everyone's got an independent virtual franchise. No one is wanting another job and another employee asking them, where are you up to? What are you doing? Remember the 3T mantras? I don't know if you guys use these, but I find these very, you know, I really created them for a reason, and I use them every single three-way call for a very important reason. The first is, you're a blessing in our team, whether you do a little or a lot. Thanks for being here. That's enough, right? Really help your team understand, we love you. You're here. You're one of us. Thank you. That's enough. Number two, you're acceptable as you are. Right now, where you are, how you are, as you are, thank you. You're acceptable. It's awesome. And number three, you always go at your own pace. You always go at your own pace. You don't owe anyone anything. You don't have to stay behind to make your sponsor feel better, and you don't have to overtake, and you don't have to keep up, and you don't have to look, you know, sideline, upline, downline. It's just, this is a journey of looking in the mirror. Okay? So they're the 3T mantras. The first one, you're a blessing in our team, whether you do a little or a lot. Number two, you go at your own pace. Number three, You're acceptable as you are. You don't need to know anything. We show you everything every step of the way. Okay, so I say that on every three-way call, and here's why. I hear people still scared, still nervous, asking, can I do this? Can I be successful? What if I fail? What if I fly? They're mixed up in all of that. They hear me say this with authenticity, and I say, let's just have fun. Take the expectations off. Let's have fun. Then we're going to do it right. Then you'll attract people into the team. If you're too serious about this, no one will want to join your team because you're being too serious about this. They don't want another job. We're all volunteers. Does it make sense? Good. Some nice big smiles there. Okay. So take the pressure off. Oh, those who have been, sort of with me for a long time, I do this flick on the forehead of, hey, stop that. You're not that important. Get out of your head. You'll be dead in your head, okay? So sometimes imagine me when it feels too heavy and I'm not getting it and it's all coming up here. Just imagine me being kind, flicking you with love, saying, you're not that important. Leave them alone. Just worry about you. Be your own best distributor in your own business. Say less to more and keep moving forward, yeah? So I've got 5 more minutes. Do you want to come? I've got Jamesy here. And we just wanted to see in the last 5 minutes if anyone had any questions, maybe about, I don't know, difficult spouses, skeptical people.
She's a very difficult spouse.
Let's have a look. What have we got? Oh my God, there's like 80 messages. Okay. I can't read all of them right now. But what could you say? How can you add value to everyone about having trust in the journey? Why you let me be so passionate for so long, even when there was no money coming in?
Well, there was always some money coming in. So I'll never say there was none. Language is very important, isn't it? Albeit it was a smaller amount. And I don't ever suggest that anyone should quit their day job or tell their partner, if you have one, to quit their day job and it's all in on this and, it's going to fly within, 3 months and we're going to make all this money. We were very hard working and, fortunate that we committed so hard for many, many years. And, I was bringing an income while Linda could build this. So that's the first thing. I don't know whether that's important to say. But seeing her get light up by being around and so forth, that was awesome. And legitimately getting, listening to and hearing the stories, that was also very important to me. And then at some point in there also, I guess for me, feeling that I had some level of ownership or taking some ownership and some responsibility in the team. I still remember, putting on little boot camps many, many years ago and, cutting up the fruit and getting the tea bags and doing all that stuff for a dozen people, right? And that at the time made me feel important and part of it. And, I guess I got a bit of a pat on the head for doing that, but that gave me just some ownership in the ideal of Juice Plus. And at the time I had a really shit job and was working my ass off to make bugger all money. Even though I was the primary breadwinner, it sucked. So for me, it was an outlet. So there's lots of ways, I guess I'm saying, that you could present this or put it forward or discuss it with your partner. Are they looking for something fun? Are they looking for a way to have an outlet from their daily life? Are they wanting to just see the bottom line? And, for us at the time, $100 a week did make a difference. And then, $1,000 a month made a difference. And then, oh my God, now it's $500 a week. All of that starts to stack. So seeing and being around that from the beginning, was always it. I'd always leave the door open, literally, the office door open when Linda would do her calls, because I'd listen in, even though I might be doing some admin work or something, because I had a legitimate, passion, if you will, for the stories and who she was helping and just connecting with those people. So that's all I could say. And if your partner is not open to any of that, then I don't know, just tell them you'll buy them something fun. Maybe Linda always used to say that in the beginning too. Just make it about fun.
So that's a really good point, because I've got some messages happening here and some private ones too. When the money is not yet here, and that's the catch, right? That's the catch of this business, that people are not everyone's going to understand why you're doing this. Mm-hmm. And the biggest challenge will be, it's usually often those closest to you that you really want their approval. You're not going to get it. And I promise you, at some stage in this journey, it might not feel like it now, but you're going to thank them. And here's why. In every struggle, there's a gift. You are going to grow. You are going to get annoyed and resolved and like, I'm going to show you. Whatever your fuel needs to be, just be cool with that. Okay? So just understand, not everyone's going to understand. But this is, would you agree, guys, this is a hard decision to do this. It's not easy. If it was, everyone would do it. You will be challenged right from the start. So navigating that is really important. Stay true to who you are. Stay true to your stake in the ground and why you're here. Create those vision boards like over there every day. That's what I'm recommitting to in my business and why I'm here. So I was always recommitting that one day we would have the day that we had today. I think we started drinking champagne at about 3:30.
She did.
Because it was
I was going to exercise till she gave me champagne. I'm reading some of these guys' notes here, and how do you balance the time for business when life is so full of uncertainty? There's no regular income. That's a challenge, right? So, I can't spell it any different, and we just pull double shift. Literally, I was doing 60 hours a week, and so Linda's 10, 20, 30 hours that she could put in, just had to fit in around it. It wasn't, I don't like those things. Well, if it's a must, make it a must. And if you said it and all the rest, I don't know. We just worked hard. And I was prepared to do that because I just was committed to an outcome that I'd seen conference. I'd been to the US and seen that success. I'd seen and how big it was. I'd physically been and seen. I'd been to the US conference and Australian conference and see the numbers of people and heard the stories and thought, well, why not? Why can't we be the little engine that could, Linda? Get out the door, go do an event, do whatever you got to do. I don't know. Just come back happy, and I'm sure this time next month and the month after we're going to have grown from it. Yeah. So, there's not a lot of extravagance when you're in those early days of grinding hard, though, is there? I think we all know that.
What I'll add on that, there's some just great questions coming up on the side here. I heard on the main stage in the US, and in the early days when Australia was still very small, and we were really sort of felt like pioneers, and it felt very lonely. And there was 8,000 at those conferences, and those women who were, 100 clubbers, I didn't even know what that was, but they just blew me away. I'll never forget Julie Herp saying, choose the desk instead of the couch for a few years. If you choose the desk instead of the couch for a few years, you can live the rest of your life how most people can't and won't. And I thought, I can do that. If that's what it takes for me to get ahead, I'm not afraid of hard work. He was never afraid of hard work. So what I love about this is everything's hard, right? Jobs are hard. Life can be hard. So it's the choose your hard, right? Being broke was very hard. That really sucked. So if we were going to be working, we wanted to work smart. And at least I knew if I gave this a good crack, that 4 years of choosing the desk instead of the couch, that would set us free. So now we can sit on the couch for the rest of our lives, literally.
That bores me anyway.
But we'll become too enormous or something, or alcoholics. But honestly, that's what kept me in the game more than anything. I thought, if I do that, and if even 3 of you hear me out of 200, if even 3 of you are in a tough time right now, I want you to hear me on this. 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour when you get obsessed in the best possible way. 1 hour a night investing in this business can pay you a lifetime. Every other hour that you're spending in life out there, you're probably not being paid for. And those in a job that you are being paid for, that hour that you were just paid for, it's gone. You never get that hour back again, and that dollar amount was capped. In this business, every hour that you invest in building the dream machine that's going to pay you for the rest of your life, it's the compound effect. 1 hour does not equal 1 hour in this business, because you are building a machine. You are building a dream machine that changes lives, that delivers dreams every single day.
But saying this too, like reading...
How cool is that though, right? Like, I hope that, I want you guys to get that 1 hour in this world will pay you 7 years down the track right now. I'm being paid now for 7 years of the compound effect, like a tsunami. It's, I can't even tell you what's going on in this. We were 353 club this month. So
practical tips, because I'm reading some of the notes on that, guys. I don't know if you've ever, now is the time where it really matters most in that hard yards, and get good at time management. I don't do that, in jobs, in my job, and I've seen that in a lot of comments. How do you balance JP in the job? I did not dick around in my job. Every hour was the highest paying activity I could do. So you've got to know what your highest paying activities are. You have to have your own personal systems in place to cut through that stuff. And, we all have our days or moments where we shuffle the desk a bit and tidy it up and do all that sort of fluff, and you just know. But if you're procrastinating or dwelling on that, I don't know, read a time management book. Truly, like, I've read many of them, because that's where the lost time is. And I mean it as someone in their 40s who's worked in sales for decades. That is the difference. That becomes the difference on whether you'll succeed in something or whether you don't. Yes, you need the why, you need the drive and all the rest, but if you spend too long on stuff that's not paying you. I worked in a company and we had these crazy freaking acronyms, right? Not acronyms. What is it when they just do a letter for the word? I think that is an acronym. And they had this one, it was called PTTB. It's in, what's that? I don't know. It's in my brain. Now. I've lost the word. Tattooed in my brain. Oh. PTTB means you're pretending to be busy. Right? Now, that stuff, I've just lived and breathed it for so many years. So, but I learnt that through books and sales training courses and all these sort of things. So if you've never read anything like that, that would be really helpful. I still remember there, if it was me, I'd probably got it on my bookshelf. I've got a big library of all my sales books. Mark McKeown, 1 Minute Manager. There's a whole raft of those things. If you've never read one of them, that could be helpful.
That's a good one. 1 Minute Manager. And do what we call a time audit. I'll do a little, I'm just making a note.
Read one of them, follow it through, and just keep going back to what your highest paying activities are. And, inviting people to events, being systematic, sharing, and those sort of things, right? And if you're not doing that, if you're shuffling the papers on the desk, then you got to have a look at it.
Yep. 1 Minute Manager. Awesome. We've gone over time because we're excited for you guys being on this journey. Stay in line, keep the faith, keep your vision. I promise, when you care enough about others, when you can be inwardly directed, know your truth, and know that, even some of my, I've got to tell you, this is funny. I was in Melbourne during the weekend. Some of my doctor friends who I watched, do 7 years full-time at uni, thought I was crazy, like peddling some kind of, snake oil juice, vitamins, whatever. They had no idea what I was doing for so long. And I just don't think they ever believed that this was going to come of anything or that I would stick to it. But I saw it really hit home for them now that he's not working. They were that was the proof to them that, well, he's not working anymore. But he has a really high-paying job. Yeah, he did, but now he doesn't need it. And really just seeing their faces of, well, I don't get it. What do you mean? He's retired? Well, he'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that with me, but we'll just, we don't need to. I really watched, and I had a little bit of gratification because there was many, many years there that they were my fuel of, I'll show you. One day I'm going to out-earn you because you still have to do dollars for hours and you're still going to have a salary.
Let it be your fuel.
You're still only going to get paid when you're showing up doing those dollars for hours. So honestly, did I do this or do it on your own? So I've done this on my own we're coming up to 7.5 years. And you know what? I sort of peddled and dabbled to SC for about 2 years. And I was ecstatic with my, 500 to 1,000. And then I got serious. So your time frame and your vision will unfold. If you're frustrated, then you want it to unfold sooner, stay in action and do things differently. If you're frustrated, if you love this journey unfolding and you know that this is the 4-year career or the 8-year career or whatever this is for you, be happy with that. Don't play the comparison game. That's the most dangerous thing in this business. If you're going to play the comparison game, you have to take on all of that person's life, not just results they're getting in their business. You've got to do all of the work, not just the parts that you think that you want. Does that make sense? Use comparison to inspire you for what's possible, not to beat yourself up. It's a dangerous game, okay? And a lot of people play that. You don't need to. It's the thief of joy, most definitely. And it's easy to do, especially in a team like this, right? The whole world's watching this team. And, what's the secret sauce? What's the magic? You guys, there's 250 of you on training every week. That's the magic. In this team, you're doing about 50 Zoom events and live events every single week. There's no magic. You know the high-paying activities, right? So you guys are awesome. Thank you. We feel so, so honoured to be part of this journey with you, whatever it is, however it's going to unfold. But what if you not giving up on a bad day, you keeping your own dream alive and never giving up on a bad day and asking others to come and take a look and why you think that they might like it? I can't even begin to tell you how many lives you will impact. Some you may never even know. And that just still blows me away. So well done. You guys are amazing. I'm loving seeing all your faces, and I'll finally stop talking.
Thank you.
And
thank you, James.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.